We have a voicemail number, which is 219-2 David P. Here's a song someone left. I think this is a custom song about the David Pakman show. I can't tell. Let's take a listen together.
Call this segment keeping David on his toes. Uh-oh. Young reporter always does a good job, you know. Had a guest on slamming Hillary for emails.
Right.
David asked him, what about all those Bush emails? Guest said all Bush emails were fully reported on. Live! Bush ran business on secret R&D seller.
Yeah, Lewis, is this, it sounds like they're saying David Pakman in the song.
It does. Yeah, I don't really know anything about this song. I don't know what to tell you.
And we have no idea who left this. So if anybody knows anything about this unusual but strangely compelling voicemail, please let us know. On today's bonus show, the world's longest tunnel is almost complete. A 17-year-old sentenced to 11 years. Lewis will tell us why. And Boeing's laser drone killer. All of these stories and more. I encourage you to become a member. You will get instant access to the bonus show, the world-famous bonus show. Lewis is the host. I am the sidekick. DavidPakman.com/membership to sign up today.
Look at those eyes, man. That dude, he is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Alex Jones is now very, very upset with me.
Look at that. That is a frickin' predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you. Pac-Man never talked to the New World Order, because Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. He's not a knight at the round table.
That's true. I'm not a knight at the round. That actually is accurate.
That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Pac-Man. If I was telling my children who not to be, it's Pac-Man. Pac-Man's a loser. Smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you.
The evil's growing, it's coming. What you asked for is now at the door, scratching. So open the door and prepare to meet your destiny.
Because Pac-Man's a loser. Man's a loser. That is a frickin' predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you.
Listen, I told y'all last time I talked about David Pakman, it's really hard to find any good music about him because he's such a boring loser, I have to be honest. But how are you all doing today? Hi Voiceless, hi Ocean Tide, hi Feminine Energy, hi Corey M, hi Sylviel, hi Illusionist Rebel, hi Ocean Tide, hi Lilith Moonchild, hi Sylviel 2002, hi Newplex, hi Voiceless, hi Russ, hi Corey M, hi Ocean Tide, hi Danielle, hi CensoredShop.com, hi Kathy Chapman, hi Ocean Tide, hi, I already said hi to some of y'all, okay. Hi Stewart's mom, how are y'all doing tonight? Y'all having a good evening tonight? Be sure to hit the like button, okay? And consider becoming a member. Okay, if you click the join button, you can become a member. You get access to all these amazing, beautiful emojis. And I should hopefully have some members only videos coming up here real soon. Pac-Man really do be looking like an IRL NPC. Yes, he does. And in my opinion, he actually just proved to everybody that he is an NPC speaking Democratic talking points for the fucking party. I think he's proven himself at this point. He's absolutely a shill. We'll get to that in a minute. But also, I did update the donation alert. So hit up my PayPal at the link in the top. And I think that's it. This won't be a terribly long stream. It's just something I had to go over because I love it whenever this guy has a meltdown. And if anybody remembers, the last time I talked about David Pakman was his epic meltdown that he had when Kamala Harris lost. So after the election, Kamala Harris lost, and he made this video going, I lost 5,000 subscribers. Meanwhile, this guy has 3.3 million subscribers, and he's whining over he lost 5,000 subscribers. So, you know, for those of you that don't know who David Pakman is, I think most people in general probably have seen him at least once or twice, if not know who he is. But here's the thing. Everybody wants to fight me on this, okay? I don't give a fuck how... Listen, David Pakman is a fucking cow, okay? Nancy Mace, also a fucking political cow. These people that you listen to regularly on social media talk about politics, they're cows. Most of these people shouldn't be talking about this kind of shit. I've never heard of him. My bad. I kind of went off on a tangent there. So if you haven't heard of David Pakman, he runs a YouTube channel called The David Pakman Show. Oops, let me put this on. Yeah, there we go. The David Pakman Show. Okay? And it is a centrist liberal style show. And if you watch him, he is very, very robotic, okay? That's why I played that clip at the beginning. And in fact, I'll play this clip for you too. The reason I love calling David Pakman an NPC is because I want to say this was back in... Yeah, I think it was 2018. I'm pretty sure it was the midterms, the 2018 midterms, yeah. That he's whining about people calling him an NPC. Now, if somebody's calling you an NPC, you know, you might choose to respond. Maybe you wouldn't be angry about it. I don't think I'd be angry about somebody calling me an NPC. But I guess maybe if I was covering politics, I could get it. But you know what the worst way to respond to being called an NPC is? By answering in the most NPC way possible. Listen to this bullshit.
What do you think of this new right-wing...
Hold on.
Next question today. Hey, David, this is from Carrie. What do you think of this new right-wing insult meme, NPC? NPC.
I mean, yeah, you might get angry. He doesn't really get angry. I don't think he's capable of expressing any human emotion here.
It actually came up at Politicon during my fake news debate. So here's just like an experiment I want to do first just to see about this. Do you have any idea what NPC means, Pat?
Oh, God, no, I don't. And I've done limited research into it, trying to understand.
I mean, even his producer, no, David, I do not know what NPC means. I have done limited research. My algorithm can only search so much at a time. Please hold.
Dan, what the term means, but I know it's the latest alt-right trope. That's about it. That's all I got.
So let me explain it to you, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. NPC stands for non-playable character. Okay.
See?
If you play video games, how once again video game
looking up definition for NPC, non-playable character in video games
culture.
I mean,
is
it's I'm telling you, this man is an early model AI for the Democratic Party. Fucking Donna Brazil forgot to turn this guy off after the 2012 election. I'm telling you, that's what happened.
Trying to install terminology into society. I don't know, but they are.
I also don't really understand Gamergate, so this goes hand in hand.
NPC is, when you play a video game, there are characters that the human player controls. So like if you play Super Mario Brothers, you control Mario or Luigi if you're playing a two-player game.
For example,
the Koopas, for example, are non-playable characters. They're characters in the game. The humans can't control them, And the reason that it has become sort of an insult is that the Koopas operate on this really fixed and limited logic where they sort of move towards Mario and try to touch him, which hurts him. And they don't know how to run away from the shells that you throw at them. They just replicate that behavior unthinkingly over and over. So that's the analogy. When you call someone an NPC on the internet, what you're basically...
We're nearly 2 minutes into a 3.5 minute video. He has spent the entire first half of this video explaining what an NPC even means. Like, this is the kind of bullshit that he does. He goes off into these long rambling explanations and stories just to like distract you from the fact that the very next thing he's going to do is tell you to go to joinpakman.com and become a member.
Basically saying is they are not real participants in the direction of the discussion. They are just repeating lines. They are playing.
They are not members of the discussion. They are just repeating lines. Keep that in mind.
A script. They are playing a really, they're beta and predictable and unthinking. That's what the insult means. You can't think on your own. This is a stunningly dumb meme. Does anybody really think that these are intelligent or clever phrases or interesting critiques of society, saying that people you identify as beta are NPCs? And quite frankly, if you see people using this term, my instinct would be to pity them rather than to get angry. I would ignore them, and for the most part, I mute them on Twitter. At this point, I don't even know how many times.
I'm telling you, this video is from 2018, and he speaks exactly like a goddamn AI. He's giving you advice for how to handle being called an NPC.
Of people I have muted, but over the weekend, after the Politicon debate,
here are some options for recourse. 1, block button.
Where roaming millennial commented on what NPC is. I
Two,
started getting
pity.
a ton of tweets from people saying I'm an NPC or that my appearance on Jesse Lee Peterson was NPC. I just mute them all. I just have no time for this nonsense.
Yeah.
Your appearance on literally anything is fucking NPC.
This all seems really silly to me, but I don't think the analogy really stands up because sure, in the first couple levels, you have those NPCs that will just get hit by anything and die, and they won't really do much damage to you. But by the end, you have like the boss characters, like Bowser, to use your Mario example.
Yeah.
And those guys are pretty tough. Like they'll beat you a few times before you ended up conquering them.
But I think still the critique would be that they are behaving on pre-programmed logic and not really thinking for themselves to the extent that video game characters think to themselves. It is really, really dumb, and I hope that it'll fade away just like all of these other silly terms.
Oh, so disappointing. There's a reason he doesn't have fucking goddamn producers come on anymore. But he ends up getting flamed in the comments. David Pakman has no errors in his programming. He's running the installed programs perfectly. It does not matter if he understands the programming as long as he stays within optimal NPC programming parameters. David Pakman said that the NPC meme is silly and dumb. I completely agree with him because he said it. NPC meme, go away. We are human, here to stay. This is so true. We are all unique and special. So yeah, like he pretty much got flamed for this. And then I'm not going to make you sit through it because I know that was the longest 3.5 minutes ever. But there was somebody who calls in with a voicemail asking if the Democrats got taken down in 2018 because of the NPC meme. And it's just obvious people were trolling him with this NPC meme because of how he responded to it, okay? So let's get to what's happening now. Okay, so basically, and we're not going to go through the article. I'll show it to you. But an article came out from Taylor Lorenz. And for those of you who don't know who Taylor Lorenz is, Consider yourself lucky. She's fucking insane too. Okay? And we're not going to read through the article. I feel like that would be giving her way more attention than she deserves. But it's titled, "A Dark Money Group is Secretly Funding High-Profile Democratic Influencers." What the article is basically about is that there seems to be an organization called, what the fuck was it called? Chorus. Okay, so there seems to be this organization called Chorus, and they're basically getting up a network of content creators that includes people like David Pakman, Brian Tyler Cohen. I don't want to name any other names because I don't know who else is in this list, but it doesn't matter. Those are the only two names you really need to know for this for right now. And that the group Chorus, their whole objective is to push Democratic talking points. Okay, they're funded by the Democratic Party, and they were telling everyone what to say. They were basically giving them scripts, telling them what to cover, telling them what to say. And let's look at David Pakman's channel for just a minute, okay? Because is there anything possibly, slightly conspiratorial that David's been pushing? Like, let's see. Oh, his Trump's hand, the Trump dying memes. He engages in this rampant speculation shit, and you're going to see that on full display tonight. But anyway, Chorus was co-founded by Brian Tyler Cohen, okay? And allegedly, all these influencers are getting paid up to $8,000 per month to just basically try to get one of them to become the next Joe Rogan, the liberal Joe Rogan. And I'm sure you've heard about this. Like, the Democratic Party is struggling right now looking for the next Joe Rogan, because the reality is they're not going to pick Hassan Piker to fill that role. That's just not going to happen. But Brian Tyler Cohen, who knows? Okay. Now, there is no confusion. Do not be confused that there's no connection here. David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen are very good friends. If you remember the last time I covered this whole David Pakman shit, when he was melting down about losing 5,000 subscribers, the very first thing that he said was, "I called all the Cohens." Listen to this shit.
So I started texting, and I texted Brian Tyler Cohen, and I texted Tyler Cohen and Brian Tyler, all of them. I texted all of them.
You texted him 4 times? What the fuck's wrong with you?
I texted Jesse Dollemore. I texted Luke Beasley and Farron Cousins and Sam Cedar. And every single one of our channels since last night is hemorrhaging subscribers.
No, oh no. Now, the argument that I made when I covered this the first time was that this is nothing more than a fucking dry bag. And that's what it is. It's a fucking dry bag. Look at the goddamn title. "I'm terrified. Is the left about to abandon politics?" Anyway, like I said, we're not going to go over the article. I am going to link it in the chat, and I'll put it in the description later on after the stream's over. But there's the link to the article if you are actually interested in it. What we're going to do instead is we're going to watch a 2-minute video about the article, because I am not going to read all that shit. Oh, that's not the video. This is the video. Here we go.
Journalist Taylor Lorenz is trending after her Wired report exposed a secret influencer program tied to Democratic politics. But the reaction isn't what you'd expect. Instead of political debate, Lorenz is facing backlash from the left for reporting on her own side. Taylor Lorenz is an American journalist who covers internet culture, social media, and influencer news. The 41-year-old has written for The Washington Post, The New York Times, Vanity Fair, and most recently, Wired. Widely considered liberal-leaning, Lorenz reports across politics, culture, and tech, and is known for her work on online harassment, influencer marketing, and social media impacts on politics and culture. This week, her Wired article revealed a program called Chorus, allegedly funded by the 1630 Fund, a major progressive, quote, dark money group. Through the program, Lorenz found influencers were offered stipends, some as high as $8,000 per month.
$8,000 per month. Can anybody in here press 1 if you're making $8,000 a month, and press 2 if you're just, maybe falling a couple dollars shy of $8,000 a month to sit on your ass and blow smoke up other people's ass
in exchange for posting political content. But there's a catch. Contracts reportedly required strict
Yeah, well, I'm not either, so hit up my PayPal link. Thank you very much.
secrecy. According to contracts obtained by Wired, creators couldn't disclose payments and had to coordinate messaging with Chorus staff. Experts say this could effectively turn political content into undisclosed paid political propaganda because followers may perceive the message as personal opinion rather than
the shit ninjas pay well.
sponsored content. And while this seems like a big reveal that could spark backlash for the influencers involved, Lorenz instead finds herself at the center of the online uproar. Some have defended Chorus in the program. One Instagram comment read, "They're being paid a stipend while they're part of a program to learn how to better use platforms to get their own message across. The creators aren't being forced to make specific content with specific opinions, so I'm confused by the angle of your reporting." While some feel
No, so this is apparently the argument, is that this is not actually the argument against Taylor Lorenz is basically that this is not some dark money shit that's funneling money through the Democratic Party, okay? Their argument is that this is like a content network, and that they're working together to mentor up and coming content creators. Like I said, their goal is to find the new liberal Joe Rogan, right? So they're positing this as though we're just content creators working together, whatever. But you're going to see how David is going to respond to this, because that's the reason I'm not even reading the article, or that's the reason we're not talking about the article, is because this isn't about the article. This is about how he ends up responding to this shit.
content with specific opinions, so I'm confused by the angle of your reporting. While some feel like she's overly attacking the left, which is ironic because for years, the right has called her biased. One user stated, "Stop defending yourself and instead write a piece that digs into how the right does this, and you'll stop all this chatter about changing the topic to help both."
Stop defending yourself and instead write a piece that digs into how the right does this. So she does actually mention in the article that the right does this too. And the right does do this. They all fucking do this. This is why you should not be listening to fucking YouTubers about fucking politics, because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And you'll stop all this chatter by changing the topic to how both sides do this. So much of the conversation is about the left eating itself. And this back and forth proves that point. And it's like, listen, y'all can't get on the same fucking page. I don't know what to fucking tell you. Like, this is why neither of the two main parties are working right now. Nobody really wants to be dealing with this Democrat shit, and nobody really wants to be propping up Donald Trump while he covers up the Epstein shit. So at some point, we're going to have to accept that the Democrat and Republican shit, it's just not going to work out.
Both sides do this. So much of the conversation is about the left eating itself, and this back and forth proves that point. Unfortunately for Lorenz, much of her story's message seems to have been lost, and now she's defending herself against accusations of being part of the quote dark money funding, claims she's now denied. But while Taylor faces backlash, the evidence in her original reporting can't be ignored. Calls for transparency on both sides are more important than ever, especially when it comes to the information that helps us decide who will sit in office next. But what's your take? Share your thoughts below and follow us everywhere at What's Trending.
Okay. So before we get into David Pakman's response to this, I want to show you Alex Jones very quickly, okay? Because Alex Jones did a very, very entertaining reaction, and I've shown this before. But I want to show it again because, you know, remember what Alex Jones, if you remember this clip, remember what Alex Jones was accusing him of, was of scripting callers, of just following the lead, whatever the Democrats say go.
Look at that. That is a frickin' predator right there.
And he
Thinks
said,
he's smarter
he said that too.
than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's going to beat you, he thinks. Pac-Man never talked to the New World Order. Pac-Man never tried to get hired by the Kissinger Group because Pac-Man's a loser. He's a sellout. He's not a real man. He's not a knight at the round table. He didn't actually have a real discussion with the power structure he worships. See, I said no to the evil power structure. Not because I was a hero, but because I had God. I had a connection to the infinite. I knew this was a failure. This was not good. I didn't join with God and justice because I was a good person. I did it because I had discernment and wanted to be with God. So now we look at the spirit of Judas Iscariot betraying themselves, betraying humanity, serving Soros, serving Schwab, serving Biden, serving Fauci. And then I've got some more news I want to hit here.
Isn't Alex Jones an a-hole? Yeah, this is one of his more epic moments. It doesn't... this is probably one of my favorite videos, like, up there, like, with a lot of the roast videos that I like. And it's just because he gets so unhinged about David Pakman in this.
So this is just a snapshot of the bizarreness of acting like a tape call is a call and then nodding with it and talking to it because you're so...
Acting like a taped call is a call. And the thing is that for whatever reason, I don't know why, what prompted him to do this exactly. Maybe I just need to rewatch it, but he ends up getting pissed off, being like, people accuse me of taking of scripted calls, of making fake calls. Look at this motherfucker. I mean, that's effectively what he's doing
scared
here.
To actually talk to people and give them the power.
He's very good
live.
for meme music.
That's what the left always claims. Jones has fake callers.
Yeah.
Jones has fake reviews because they're fake, because they rig everything, because they're so scared they got to control it all. And then to hear...
It's all projection.
Because we can show you the Rasmussen poll. Nobody wants to put you in a camp that's...
Heaps, yeah. Thank you for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all hit the like button and click the join button if you want to become a member. I appreciate it.
Nobody wants to arrest you. Nobody wants to have political prisoners. No, 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 no. That's the Republicans that support Trump, who are the ragtag group trying to get back control of the country. But could we get martial law to Republicans? Absolutely. Could that party be just as bad with neocons running it? Yes. But the neocons are allied with the Democrats. They're the ones pushing all this on record. Here it is.
We have a voicemail number. That number is 219-2-DAVID-P. Here's a voicemail I received with a very practical question about if it came time to leave the country, would you still be able to leave the country? It's a very good question.
Hi, David. I just heard you say on the stream that if the United States becomes a full-blown dictatorship by 2024, you will be leaving the country. So I've been thinking about this a lot myself, and is it too late? If you wait until it's a full-blown dictatorship, will you even be able to leave the country? If you're that concerned about it happening, should you be making plans to leave before it goes?
No, what I find fucking hilarious about this is, like, I don't know. I mean, again, I feel like nobody in here really watches David Pakman. I unfortunately watch him just like he's rage bait for me. Like, I just find him so fucking stupid. But I just find it so stupid that I laugh at it. But anyway, if you've ever seen David Pakman take calls, okay, what he does is he insists, for whatever reason, he insists on doing it through Discord, and he'll do this call-in show, and he'll pull people in, and half the time their mic is muted, and he's like, hello, Caller, go ahead. Go ahead. Can you hear me? Okay, I am going to be disconnecting he acts like a goddamn call center operator while he's taking these fucking calls. Half of them don't know how to get their mic working. The other half are too nervous to fucking speak. It's so awkward. And so to imagine that he's scripting these calls, I would hope he could do a better job of it. But like maybe this is just one of the few that was scripted. I don't know.
Full-blown dictatorship?
Yeah, this is a fair question, which is like...
All right, hit pause. Back it up 5 seconds, because I'm not going to edit this. I want you to hear it in its congruity. They admit, and I've played the clips from the Davos group, the UN, all of it, that it's a world ID where you won't be able to travel or leave your house, quote, 1/2 foot if you don't have the vaccine passport. And I have a whole stack of articles I'll show you about that. And they're saying that Republicans are the ones that passed the law to put kill switches in all the cars, which is now law. And, I mean, the Republicans are horrible, weak, pathetic, cowardly folks on average. I don't like them. But they're not the people in the driver's seat like the Democrats. And imagine, though, this fear porn. The Trump supporters are going to have a dictatorship. Are you kidding? George Soros has got almost every district attorney and attorney general under his control. And you sit there and act like you're not the establishment. That is a lie on its face.
So the apparently the man that calls into David Pakman's show is Soros funded.
Continue with this garbage.
Hey, Carrie, how you doing?
This is a fair question, which is like, if things completely changed overnight in the U.S. and all of a sudden no one was allowed to leave, the plan of saying, I will stay if and until it gets really bad doesn't work, because if it got so bad, you wouldn't be allowed to leave. I don't, you know, when we talk about the Canadian political scientists who said the U.S. could be a
back it up
dictatorship.
5 seconds. No, exactly. No. Let's say it. You've got the media, you've got the universities, you've got the military, you've got the banks, you've got Hollywood, and you're like, hey, don't worry, you don't need to leave. We're raping America really good. We got drag queen story time going on, okay? We got devaluation of the dollar. We got Cloward and Pivot. We're gutting this bitch. We're revolutionaries. We're alpha males. We're going to screw this country like a tied billy goat. That's a little translation. The exhilaration of joining with evil, the exhilaration of joining with the UN, the exhilaration of joining with Klaus Schwab.
Carrie, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Alex Jones used to be sane. When? I'm sorry. When was Alex Jones sane? I have to know, Skelter, when Alex Jones was ever sane. David looks so familiar, but I can't place him. So, I mean, I will say that he's had a relatively popular show, and like his show has been on radio, on podcast, on actual like cable TV in the past. I don't think he's still on cable TV, but he's been on cable TV in the past. Maybe, I'm not sure if it was cable. It might have been just like an affiliate like network station, but it doesn't matter. He's been on actual television, and he's been doing this since like 2006. I think the fact that people don't recognize him as much is kind of, you know, disappointing for him. But yeah, he's been doing this for a fucking while, and he's always been relatively popular, but he's so fucking boring and so robotic that like I can't imagine people like unironically not like just making fun of him. But like apparently a lot of people take him seriously. A lot of people have respect for him, because every time I say this man is a lolcow, people don't believe me.
The exhilaration
I mean, look, Alex Jones is a lolcow too, but I still to this day argue that he may have a point in this clip. We'll watch and find out.
You're a team player. You get lots of money now. Let's continue.
U.S. could be a dictatorship by 2030 or whatever else the case may be. I believe that it would be a continued slow slide in that direction, and I am counting on the
more projection. That's what they're doing to us.
That I would have time to get out if such a time.
Yes.
Now, would I?
Yes, he's one of the SNL characters that would do like the fucking NPR fucking shows. The NP. You remember Delicious Dish?
it's so slow that the frog doesn't realize it's getting burned, right?
Total protection.
Would I know when it's time to leave? These are all fair questions, but I don't think it would be like an overnight, no more flights out.
So they're doing.
Do you see what he's done right here? I mean, he made like 4 fucking analogies right there to explain about the fact that he wouldn't wait until it got so bad before he left. It's so stupid.
Classical corporate takeover, censorship, debanking, arrest, tyranny, collapsing, and then he's talking about them as victims. Talk about a fantasy. Talk about a simulation. He's in his own, but he knows it's not a simulation. He loves this for his little groveling followers that actually drink this Kool-Aid. Let's continue.
But maybe some people in the audience have a different perspective. On the bonus show today, we will talk about the 5G.
Oh, that's enough. Oh, the bonus show where you want to make money. Everybody else that makes money to fund themselves is bad. If I was telling my children who not to be, it's that guy. I mean, he's a disgrace. And I don't say that like, God, I feel good about myself. No, he makes me feel pathetic. Look at those eyes, man. That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen. Thank your lucky stars every day you're not Dave Pakman.
He's the male breezy. There's no soul in there. Oh, shit. Martonimos and Brittany, thank you so much for the 264. I will check that link later, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Look at that. That is a frickin' predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's going to beat you, he thinks. No, Joe Rogan and Bill Maher, they're all smarter than you, big man. Because, you know, they've played both sides, but now they know who's going to win.
Not Bill Maher.
You're on the wrong side of history. And I'm so sorry for what's going to happen to you by your own decisions. But he's an archetype, a sample out of the fetid latrine or cesspool that is the system. That's the vanguard. That's the stay behind network. That's the scorched earth leavings they've got as the globalists back off to armored fortresses and dig into their underground bases, literally. You think the people that have the underground bases call up people like Pakman? No. Pakman never talked to the New World Order. Pakman never tried to get hired by the Kissinger Group because Pakman's a loser. He's a sellout. He's not a real man. He's not a knight at the round table. He didn't actually have a real discussion with the power structure he worships. See, I said no to the evil power structure. Not because I was a hero, but because I had God. I had a connection to the infinite. I knew this was a failure. This was not good. I didn't join with God and justice because I was a good person.
Okay, before he derails too much here, what he's basically saying that you've got to kind of grasp here is that he's saying exactly what fucking David Pakman is, a motherfucker who will lick and sniff the ass of the Democratic Party no matter how shitty they choose to treat him. He is just a shill for the fucking Democrats. That's it. And it's just pathetic to watch because it really does feel like he has no emotion outside of that, or that he has no actual thought process unless it's like printed in the Democratic Party platform. It's so fucking weird. He's a fucking he's a goddamn robot. Why aren't you fucking listen to me? He's a goddamn early model AI robot.
Because I had discernment and wanted to be with God. Mr. Pakman is not with God. And he is everything you don't want to be.
Hold on, is that the end of the clip? Yeah, I think that's fucking super male vitality fucking ads after this. All right. I think Alex Jones has a point, and I think I'm going to show you why. Okay, so let's get back to the article. Maybe I should have played these in a different order. I'll probably rearrange that in my doc here. But, so the Wired article came out, and after it came out, David Pakman decided to launch a video, and it's titled, wait for it, "They're Trying to Take Us Down."
All right, I was not even going to talk about this because I hate participating in the drama. I hate the circular firing squad that often builds on the left.
Oh, he's being attacked. Oh, God. Join Pakman.com.
But it's really important that my audience know what's going on, so I am going to talk about it. I was named in an article in Wired yesterday, and the article is about a so-called dark money group on the left called Chorus. And I'm named in the article along with other creators as being part of the group. And since this article came out, I've heard from a bunch of you. David.
Are you part of the group or not? Watch what he's about to do. I've heard from... He does this. You're going to see this fucking pattern. He has this grift that he does. And it's basically like pretend there's an emergency. And usually what he does is he blames the audience by saying, everyone's emailing me. I got so many emails about this. He fucking pretends like there's some fucking emergency. Then he goes into this really long goddamn explanation of fucking bullshit. And then he'll just like leave it open-ended. Like, you know, you guys decide what you want to do. But if you understand we're being attacked here, head to joinpakman.com, become a member. We, you know, independent media needs your support.
Did you sell out? David is the DNC telling you what to say. How could you do this to us? I knew back in 2021 when you had the following to say that you must have been getting paid by someone, and here's the proof. And I was not even going to give this the time of day, but my relationship with you, my actual audience, is the most important thing. And so I decided to do this segment. I also was told that other creators, like a Twitch streamer named Hassan Piker, were covering this in ways that don't reflect the reality of the situation and are perpetuating falsehoods about what is and isn't going on. Now,
guys, don't believe anything Hassan says. He's a dumb old socialist. He didn't mean it.
I can't speak to the motives of the people that wrote the article or those that are reacting to it. I can't get in their heads. All I can do is tell you what's going on, and then you can judge and you can make an assessment of me. Now, I also want to mention, I'm aware that many of the people I'm hearing of aren't even part of my audience. They're doing the, well, now I'm unsubscribing, and they mostly were never subscribed. And so
okay, then why are you responding to it as if, do you see what I fucking mean here? Why is he responding to it as if, oh, everybody emailed me about this. I've just been getting harassed with all of this. But half these people weren't actually in my audience. I mean, come on. Which is it? Why are you responding to it if these people weren't actually in your audience?
I'm aware of that, but it doesn't matter because I want to make sure my audience hears from me about this. Now, the most important...
Actually, I should add this. So the original video I was going to watch was like, instead of that 2-minute one, it was actually going to be like a 15-minute video from The Hill where they did an interview with Taylor Lorenz. And what I find fucking funny is that in that she says that even when she started researching this, now I don't know if this is true because I don't believe anything she says, but like... She says that when she was researching this, that they were told that they shouldn't even be responding to this at all. And here he goes right out just responding to it. But I guess Brian did too. And Brian is the co-owner of Chorus. So fair enough. But like, I don't know. This, the whole thing's fucking wild to me.
Important thing to say is that the idea behind this group is exactly what I've been advocating for years. It's for years I've been saying the left needs to organize independent media in the way that the right has been doing. The left needs to fund independent creators the way that the right does. The right has won even arguably presidential elections.
You know, for as much as Cenk Uygur is a complete fucking lunatic, this is what he tried to do for decades. And then any time that him or Anna Kasparian had any change of heart on an issue, these people all fucking shit on them. Like, I just find this fucking hilarious because he was always very fair about letting different people have different opinions there. But it got, I do tend to agree with him that it got to a point where people like David would have him on just to be like, well, why are you talking at Turning Point USA? You're getting applause at Turning Point USA. I still can't join channels, but here's the money I owe you. I didn't find my wallet until days later. I don't know, but when you yell, I Bad Wolf, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's just, I mean, this guy's fucking insane. Like, it. Actually, I totally lost my train of thought. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it.
Because they're organized with regard to online and independent media. They're killing us.
This is what he's been harping on ever since the election. Is why did we lose? We need a Joe Rogan, and we need to organize independent media. They're not listening to us. They won't interview with me. And do you not understand why, David Pakman, they're not interviewing with you? Even on this drama shit, you're getting 120K views, whereas cable TV and network TV are getting a hell of a lot more viewers than this. That's why they would rather do CNN than the David Pakman show.
So behind. And this kind of support for creators is exactly what I've been advocating for. Now, the article is riddled with inaccuracies, and they're not minor inaccuracies.
Like, these people are so delusional. They really think, like, Trump won the election because of Aiden Ross and Joe Rogan. I mean, that's how delusional these people are.
Accuracies. First and foremost, this group has nothing to do with the DNC. People writing saying, the Democratic Party is telling people what to say. At its base, the group has nothing to do with the DNC, period.
Okay.
Number two, I
don't believe you, but go on.
Not get clearance for anything I say.
Okay.
I do not run interview questions by anyone at Chorus.
Now, this was something that Taylor Lorenz claimed, was that not interview questions. What Taylor Lorenz claimed was that if they were to get an interview with somebody, that they would have to run it by Chorus before they did the interview. That was what she claimed. Now, again, I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't tell Chorus when I'm going to be doing an interview. Not a single segment I have done, not a single question I've ever asked a guest has anything to do with Chorus. They don't tell me what to talk about. They don't tell me who to interview. They don't tell me how to cover a story. There are no restrictions of any kind on my content. I've never covered a story because Chorus suggested I do it. I've never not covered a story because Chorus suggested I not do it. There is no content relationship of any kind.
I'd be curious because, honestly, I believe that David Pakman would probably get a pass from this. If there was some type of enforcement on things like this, like screening who they interview or whatever, they're not going to do that to David Pakman. You know what I mean? Like, he's got too big of a channel, whatever. But, like, they would absolutely do that with somebody that had a much smaller channel, like, I don't know, Luke Beasley, for example. Somebody younger that they can groom into being a lifelong Democrat.
So what does Chorus do? They run technical trainings, how to produce content, how to make your operation more efficient.
Exactly.
How do you take a small shop of 1, 2, or 3 people and
now see, he's doing it again. He's doing it. He's going into the very long, boring explanation that nobody fucking cares about. But, like, go on.
Content out on multiple platforms the way I've been doing successfully for decades. They set up mentorship relationships between larger creators like me and small up-and-coming creators who are looking.
What did I say? They're grooming the kids to be fucking Democrats. God damn. Leave the children alone.
Looking to do content, which is something I've said for years we need to be doing. They do advocacy trainings. They do media trainings. How do you deal with adversarial media, reporters with bad intentions who contact you? They do legal training so we understand how is the right-wing machine potentially going to come after us? How do you organize your business to be protected? That's what they do. And I want to make this
They tell you how to set up an LLC? Like, you can just pay a lawyer to do that shit. What the hell are you talking about?
Really clear, and I know that 99% of my actual audience knows
look it
this.
up online.
If this was a group or an organization that required me to get permission before saying things or fed me talking points.
Okay. Listen, I don't believe that Chorus is feeding him talking points. I believe that the Democratic machine is feeding him talking points through binary code. What I want to know is if this motherfucker's feeding talking points to his little Luke Beasley. That's what I want to know.
Or told me, David, talk about this and not about that, or anything like that. I would never be part of it, period. Anyone who knows me would know that. Now, I'm one of the larger creators in the current cohort. I want to help others grow. I want to mentor people. I want to grow the left media space.
Oh.
That's something I've been advocating for years. And now the circular firing squad is getting going. You look at TikTok, you look at these different platforms, people going after each other.
TikTok, people going after each other. But David, he's not going to engage in that. He's just going to come on and play victim and dry bag.
Most of it based on misunderstandings or misreporting about what's happening. Now, let me go to another aspect of this. I've seen messages like, oh, David, when you said X in 2024, that must have been because they told you to.
Let me explain something, because I don't know how many of you saw this motherfucker's coverage of the 2024 election, but he spent 90% of it trying to say that Donald Trump was actually the one with dementia. Until Joe Biden felt like, and even after, before Joe Biden dropped out of the race, he kept making this big deal about like, no, Joe Biden's fine. Trump's the one that's losing his mind. Okay. And he would have doctors on and shit to like analyze if Trump had dementia. It was fucking insane. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's fucking melting the fuck down over here. And then when Joe Biden finally drops out, you know what he starts saying? Well, now Donald Trump is officially the oldest presidential candidate of all time. I mean, it's just so weird.
Oh, David, this explains your take on Bolivia from 2017. Now I get why you said that. Or when you did that interview in 2022, it must have been because Chorus told you to. Even if you wrongly believed that I was now completely compromised by my participation in this group, this thing is brand new. It's like 8 weeks old or something like that. Maybe 10 weeks old, something like this. So the revisionism of going back and going, now I understand why David, not only are they not directing content today, this thing is brand new. So that's just like impossible. One other thing I want to mention. The article identifies my friend Brian Tyler Cohen as the co-founder of this group.
Which Cohen? You know all the Cohens. There are literally supercuts on YouTube with people in this group saying the same exact talking points with the same candor and inflection. Can you send me that clip? Can you send me a clip of that shit?
And now he's being attacked as well. His motives being impugned. Brian worked on this as a volunteer.
Aww.
He has spent hundreds of hours for not...
Brian co-founded Chorus out of out of the goodness of his heart, that's what he's paying you $8,000 with, is with the charity in his heart? What are you talking about? His volunteer work is paying you $8,000.
A penny
a
on
month.
this project, solely because he, like me, believes we need this type of organization on the left. They're killing us on the right. He doesn't need to be doing this for himself. He's trying to do this to build up left-wing content creators, as am I. And so the framing of Brian is something.
And look, that's fine. And that's, listen, I like to help other content creators. I like to help, you know, keep the ecosystem going and everything. So I get this motivation of doing that, and that's fine. But if you're all just repeating Democratic talking points, like it looks really staged and really forced.
Kind of villain in this entire thing. It's just farcical and pathetic. So the bottom line is we need more of this on.
He's been pushing the Trump is dying meme.
The left, not less. We need more organization and infrastructure and people understanding, how do you build a content machine? How do you produce a podcast? How do you grow an audience? How do you distribute it? How do you organize your day? What's your YouTube setup like? The article is designed to attack and degrade. I can't speak to the motives of the people behind it.
So the entire chorus is just there to teach you how to use OBS. Is that what you're saying, David Pakman?
So I won't even speculate. My involvement is as I've described it here. There's nothing more and there's nothing less. It's up to you to decide whether you trust a particular creator. Yeah. It's up to you to decide what sort of structural organization the left should pursue. But what I can tell you is that the circular firing squad is how the left loses, when we start turning each other over what at the end of the day. Oh. So I'm sick of the losing. I'm trying to win. Join me if you also are trying to win. And then maybe we can have some better outcomes in future elections.
I mean, listen to that shit. Join me if you want to win. Now, here's the thing about this is, like, you know, I think the question becomes, is David Pakman in bed with dark money, or is David Pakman potentially in bed with the Democratic Party? Okay. And those are two different things. And I'm kind of the opinion that he's probably more in bed with the Democratic Party. And the thing is, 2 days later, after all this hoopla comes out, 2 days later, he does this video, and I'm shit you not, he literally tells on himself. And I don't want to spoil it, but listen to this shit. I hate to admit this, but I have to. Again, with the really sad, dramatic title. And look at his face. Oh, look at how weathered he is from these horrid accusations.
All right, I've been going back and forth about whether to even do this story.
Oh, I didn't even know if I wanted to talk about this.
And I was about not to do the story, but I do find that this is a really important thing. It has to do with the existential threat facing Democrats. And I am seeing the writing on the wall that Democrats still don't get it. So I'm going to tell you this story. It's a personal story. Do with it what you will. And I know that I may be potentially burning some bridges by talking about this.
What?
One of the
burning bridges? Who could you be burning bridges with?
The things that we learned during the 2024 election was that the Democratic Party doesn't really seem to get new media and independent media. And they continue to do the kind of...
Hold on, they still don't get it after all of your warnings, David?
...of stale thing of the Sunday shows that very few people watch and buttoned up interviews trying to be as least controversial as possible.
I know this motherfucker's not talking about buttoned up interviews. Stop it.
Occasionally dropping in a swear word or whatever to try to be a little more provocative and relatable, and it's all pretty disingenuous. But in December of 2024, I was invited to the White House. Of course, Kamala Harris had lost the election by then. And I met with senior Biden communications officials, and the president even came in to meet with us as well. And the topic really was
Okay, so I wanted to point this out very quickly because he literally just tells you he's an immediately after saying that they don't get it, they don't support independent media. By the way, I was invited to the White House in December. And what drives me nuts about this is not that he was invited to the White House in December, okay? It's the fact that I didn't know he was invited to the White House in December. And what drove me nuts is that wasn't his first visit to the White House, because he was there in the summer talking to Kamala Harris. He was there in the spring, I believe, talking to Kamala Harris. So this whole idea of whether he's in bed with Democrats, he loves to brag about this shit when he meets up with fucking Democratic officials and shit. And it's weird. I mean, he obviously fangirls these fucking people. And then he's like, oh, they won't support our independent media. Oh.
Failures of 2024 by Democrats to understand independent media, to work with independent media podcasts, foment an environment in which it's actually useful and sort of like creates a community where audiences get to know.
Like, this is the thing, is like, if anyone is close enough to tell him this shit, you're close enough to tell people this shit, David. Just tell them this. Okay? Instead of going to meet with Kamala Harris and sucking her ass the entire time, you could tell her that you actually have these grievances. I don't believe you did. I just don't believe it.
Elected officials and blah, blah, blah. And I had high hopes that the corner was being turned. And in fact, in 2025, as you all know, we've had more Democratic elected officials on the show. This includes governors. This includes members of the House. This includes members of the Senate.
I mean, he literally, in fact, he just had Gavin Newsom on.
One of the unfortunate things for Democrats, and I've been totally upfront with everybody about this, is that even when they appear on our shows, most of them really don't connect in a genuine way. They talk about fighting back with strongly worded letters and meeting voters where they are, and there's very little sense that they are up for the fight and understand how to work in this new media environment. There are exceptions. I mean, most recently we had Gavin Newsom on. I think he gets it, and part of it is Gavin Newsom himself. Part of it is his staff, which really gets it. And
I mean, it's just like, do you understand, David Pakman, why people think you're a centrist Democrat that just toes the line for the DNC? I mean, you're now wiping Gavin Newsom's ass. Like, this is what I'm saying, is you can't be shocked by any of this.
Understands how you generate interest and inspire people. Okay. So I had these periods of cautious optimism. They're not really doing it right, etc. Let me tell you what's happened over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, tell
I'm not
us,
going to name
David.
names here.
But tell us, David, who wronged you? Who wronged you now? Join Pakman.com.
I do think it's important to tell you the story. There is an elected official, House or Senate, who we have been in touch with on the show off and on over the years.
Hey, Vaughn.
And that is an individual who has challengers in the forthcoming 2026 election. And this individual's challengers have been reaching out to me. The challengers for this elected official have been saying, David, fan of the show, I would like your endorsement, or at minimum, I would like to be on your show. What about maybe doing a debate, including the elected official that I'm running against? And so I want to kind of learn about what's going on in this race. I don't even know for sure that the elected is running for re-election. I assume that they are, but I don't.
Okay. Hold on. So, for those of you that may not be following up to this point, these people, he's got obviously a contact with an unnamed congressperson, and he's like, well, all of your challengers are reaching out to me. They want to debate. They want to talk. Do you want to come on? You know, this kind of fucking bullshit. But listen what happens.
Don't know, So,
and because if you don't know whether the person is running for re-election, if you don't know if they're running for re-election, why are you emailing them to see if they're running for re-election? They're not going to tell you that over an email. They usually do an announcement.
I reach out to the office of this elected official and I say, hey, just a reminder, David Pakman, you've done the show off and on over the years. We have a relationship. I am trying to get in touch to figure out what is going on for 2026. Are you running for re-election? Are you not? Are you up for doing a debate? Your challengers are asking me to appear. They're asking me for an endorsement, etc. I just want to touch base and figure out what's going on. I want to hear it from you before making any decisions about our coverage.
Now, if the person has not made an announcement that they are running for re-election or not, what do you think the fucking answer is going to be? The answer is going to be, we don't have anything to say right now.
So that I ensure that our coverage is calibrated to, is this an open seat or is this an incumbent who's being challenged? Just want to touch base. I hear back from the office of this individual and they simply say, for any campaign questions, email info at a different website, which is clearly the campaign side, not the administrative, congressional office of this person.
Womp womp. So you emailed them asking about the campaign, and you know what they told you to do? To email the campaign, because the administrative office isn't going to discuss the campaign, especially when it's not announced, and they told you to email the campaign. And he's going to get so upset about this.
Now, there's, of course, nothing wrong with saying we really only handle the legislative affairs. For anything related to the forthcoming election, you have to be in touch with the campaign. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But shuffling me off to an info at email, which goes into a black hole, it's just where all of the crap goes. I know we will never, ever.
Why didn't you give me his cell phone number? Why? Why didn't you? Why? I thought he was going to give me a call.
Ever hear back. And this is the fundamental problem. That sort of way of dealing with independent media is how all of us will end up going, screw this elected official. Let's endorse the challenger. Let's fundraise for the challenger. This is exactly the
this is exactly the problem with this stupid fucking goddamn independent media bullshit, because none of you actually goddamn believe anything. You all run off of your fucking emotions. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these fucking people? Oh, they sent me to email the campaign when I asked them about the campaign.
Problem that we are talking about. And so I reached out to my contacts on the Hill and I said, listen, this is what happened. This is exactly what I thought we were trying.
So I reached out to my contacts on the Hill. Press 1 in the chat if you just have a slight suspicion that this man might be in bed with the Democratic Party, and press 2 if you think, that's just a conspiracy theory. I mean, he just tells on himself constantly.
Trying to fix when we went and met with the Biden administration and met with people from the House and met with people from the Senate in DC. And we're doing the same old thing. We're doing the same damn thing right now. So the point of this is, as I hear feedback.
I mean, I shit you not. This is 2 days after he puts out the fucking video saying, no, we're not funded by the Democrats. We're not doing Democratic talking points. Nobody tells me what to say. I was just talking to Biden.
From you.
He's perfectly fine.
You say about most of the elected officials I have on, David, These people are lost. They don't get it. They don't understand what's going on. They're not understanding how to effectively communicate in this new environment. They're not getting it. They're going to get crushed. Well, maybe some of them deserve to get crushed, right? I mean, maybe this is going to lead.
They left me on red, so maybe they deserve it.
To a turnover generationally or ideologically or whatever, because even after everything that happened in 2024, email info for any questions about the campaign. All right. Have it your way, guys. So listen, I'm sure there are going to be opportunities to say more about this upcoming, but the takeaway for me is I don't know that Democrats are really set up at all, like not even remotely, for a successful 2026 midterm. It's a midterm that Democrats should do well in. It's a midterm that Democrats should be able to, at minimum, take back the House, maybe with a large margin, and the Senate's difficult, but maybe the Senate will be in play. But this is not looking good. This is not looking good.
Oh, not the Democrats are going to lose because they turned down David fucking Pakman. All right. So there's one more video here. And David decided yesterday to release a video titled, and again, this is how he handles drama, okay? Lawsuit for defamation, all capital fucking letters. And he's back on the fucking Wired article. Lawsuit for defamation after you just fucking told on yourself. And he's going to do, once again, the dry bag routine. He's going to pretend like some emergency's going on. Guys, I'm being attacked. I'm being slandered. Da, 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 da. He's going to go on for fucking, 9 fucking minutes about how it's just so unfair to him. And it's hurting his analytics. It's hurting his money. Blah, 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 blah. Then he's going to be like, I don't know what to do. Do we sue or do we don't? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Become a member. Join Pakman.com. I mean, I can tell you this. I can read this fucker like a book.
Well, I hate to start a show like this, but I do have to talk today about a defamation lawsuit. After Wired published a piece last week that made a number of untrue allegations and implications about me and other creators, claiming I'm taking money in exchange for letting someone dictate the content of this show or restrict what I'm talking about, right, and many other claims.
But what did your contacts on the Hill say about this?
Implications. A whole bunch of you wrote to me and said, David, are you going to sue for defamation?
Oh, God. There it is. There it is. Guys, everybody kept emailing me, asking me, are you going to sue for defamation? This is clearly defamation, David. You're the victim here, David. David, sue for defamation. Taylor deserves it.
Suing for defamation and winning is really the way.
Guys, I got so many emails. I had to come on here and make this video. I can't do it. I got so many goddamn emails. I had to make a whole segment in the show for this.
To take control back and to prove that you didn't do the things you're accused of. Now, it's a fair question, and I want to talk about that today. I didn't even plan on mentioning this entire fiasco again, but it really has taken on a life of its own.
See, there it is. It's everybody else's fault that he has to talk about this. I'm sorry. Listen, you people do this to fucking Amberlynn Reed and Foodie Beauty and shit. I mean, I see it right here with this motherfucker. It's constantly just a dry bag. Guys, I'm the victim.
So I'm going to get to the am I suing for defamation question in a moment, but I also want to lay out a few other things. You know, the saddest part for me in all of this is that even though, after the first 48 hours, the overwhelming majority of my audience members and fellow creators and others realize there's really no story here. Like it's not even just the allegations. And
yeah, you know, you got a point, Professor A. I'd like to see those emails with you and the unnamed Democratic congressperson that has frequented your show. I mean, the whole thing that kind of boggles my mind with this is like, I feel like he kind of told on himself even there, because like you could look up like what challengers he ends up having on, and like what you could probably after a while figure out which congressperson he was talking about. But the whole thing is just wacky that he was like expecting a personal phone call as opposed to an email saying, we haven't announced that we're running for re-election, so you're going to have to email the campaign. I mean, I don't, why doesn't he get this? That's what pisses me off about it. Why doesn't he get this?
Implications are untrue. It's just, there's not even really a story here. Most people
it is literally his job.
Realize that. Way more people always see the original allegations and they never see the corrections. And that's something we're going to deal with in a moment as well. The hardest part is that some people who have trusted me for years have now canceled their memberships on my website because they wrongly believe the DNC tells me what to say.
Yeah. This is just insane. They canceled memberships. I'm losing money. I think I have a solid case here.
Or that Chorus makes me get permission before I cover a topic, or that my opinions 2 years ago were shaped by Chorus despite Chorus being spun up like 2 months ago. There are people who will not be satisfied unless I file and win a defamation suit, and otherwise they have...
What the fuck does that mean? There are people who will not be satisfied until I sue the shit out of Taylor Lorenz and Wired. What the fuck does that even mean? Do you really want me to believe there are people out here emailing you like death threats like, David, if you don't fucking sue this bitch, I swear to God, I'm gonna find your ass? Like, what exactly am I supposed to believe that this is like so fucking pressing? Oh, I have to do it. It's for the people.
Just said, this must be true, and haven't even come and asked me about it. Now, I don't know that a lot of people I'm hearing from were really my core supporters anyway. Yeah, and we're going to get to that a little bit later in the show. But I want to again say, Chorus is not involved in content creation. They're not involved in content.
What do you mean they're not involved in content creation? You literally in the other video said that the whole idea was they were bringing up content creators. Guys were mentoring other content creators. One of the owners is a goddamn content creator. What are you talking about?
Creation. They don't direct content. They don't pay for content. They don't subsidize content. They don't sponsor content. They don't restrict content.
Then what were you all getting paid for?
They don't require anything in terms of content of creators. They've never suggested, David, why don't you do the story? Or David, why don't you stay away from this story? It just doesn't exist. It's a scholarship and support incubator for creators. There are very small channels. There are larger creators like Aaron Parnas and I. The idea here is grow the left-wing ecosystem. Now, because of a misleading article and even more confused commentary from other creators who simply read the article, in some cases misunderstood it, went on and did stories about it, some people have decided to cancel the David Pakman show.
Good.
I don't know how to fix that part yet.
Oh my God.
What we have here is Brian Tyler Cohen coming out and raising money for a project he doesn't take a penny from. It's not nefarious.
Poor Brian. He's always getting shafted around here, isn't he?
Subterfuge of any kind. It's Brian. Of course I supported it because I know Brian and I know his intentions, and it's a great thing. Now, maybe the worst part of this is that other creators, some, although most now are kind of like there's no story here, but some creators in the first 48 hours took the Wired story and expanded it with even more outrageous claims, suggesting that it's APAC or IPAC. I don't even know how it's pronounced. APAC, IPAC.
You know damn good and well you're Jewish. You know damn good and well it's pronounced APAC. Jesus fucking Christ.
That is funding this show or other creators. Of course, not true. That the DNC is involved, not true. The result is that a lot of people in my audience have become confusedly furious with me, and some have canceled memberships. It takes years to build enough trust with someone that they say, I'm going to pay for this, and it takes seconds for them to cancel it. Others have unsubscribed from YouTube and other platforms. There are people now, not just...
Let's be real. The reality here is that it's just as easy to become, to, dare I say, click the join button and become a member, and for you to forget to unsubscribe as it is for you to unsubscribe as well. How many of those people just simply forgot that they were still paying this weirdo who's spitting out Democratic talking points?
Just hoping for us to fail, but monitoring to see if we do have the failure. I don't want to let those people have the satisfaction. So we estimate about 6,000 YouTube subscribers out of 3.3 something million. About 6,000 YouTube subscribers have canceled. Now, during the same period of time, 5,000 have signed up, but 6,000 have canceled. I'm not asking them to come back. Many of them have made their decision. If they decide to come back, great. What I am asking is, if you're...
This is so fucking frustrating. I have to hear that again.
1,000 YouTube subscribers have canceled. Now, during the same period of time, 5,000...
He's saying YouTube subscribers or paid members?
6,000 YouTube subscribers out of 3.3 something million. About 6,000 YouTube subscribers have canceled. Now, during the same period of time, 5,000 have signed up, but
Okay, then you lost 1,000. This doesn't work that way when you have 3.3 million fucking subscribers. When you're at that point, what's happening is YouTube is usually mass purging fucking accounts that are fucking dead accounts and bot accounts. And that's why you're losing 5,000 fucking subscribers at a time, but you're still gaining fucking 6,000 subscribers. None of this even fucking matters because you're not getting paid based just on subscribers.
6,000 have canceled. I'm not asking them to come back. Many of them have made their decision. If they decide to come back, great. What I am asking is, if you're a regular watcher on YouTube and you're not subscribed, there's about 4 million of you, consider subscribing. If you listen to the audio podcast, you don't watch on YouTube, but you have a Google account, consider subscribing. If you watch on TikTok.
There it is. There's the dry bag. Guys, please subscribe. Subscribe, because honestly, independent media is being threatened right now, okay? I might have to sue somebody because they're threatening independent media.
Consider subscribing on YouTube. There's no downside, there's no cost.
Join
and of
the
course,
NPCRP.
remember that this show primarily is funded by direct memberships at joinpakman.com. Now let's get to
there it is, joinpakman.com.
the defamation issue. Over the last few days.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that drives me nuts about it is what, independent of what? You're not even independent of big tech. You're on a fucking Google platform. So just miss me with this independent shit.
I've consulted with some of the top defamation attorneys in the country.
I mean, what are the platforms that fucking David Pakman streams to? YouTube and Twitch. Google and Amazon. Give me a fucking break with this independent shit.
Lawyers who have won some of the largest verdicts, I think, in U.S. history. And one thing I appreciate about good lawyers is they give you the full story up front. And most lawyers I've dealt with discourage litigation. They give you all the downsides. If you go to a lawyer and they go, oh, this is a slam dunk, let's start litigation tomorrow, I've learned to be skeptical of those lawyers. And most lawyers try to talk you out of litigation unless you, number one, really understand what you're getting into.
See, he's not going to sue anybody. He's going to sit here and blah, blah, blah. You guys, it's so expensive to sue somebody. And I don't think that it's feasible, and join Pakman.com. But that's the thing, is like, he's using this to essentially just play victim and try to get more people to fucking subscribe and more people to fucking join his shitty membership thing where you get the bonus show.
And number two, you really want to do it. Now, I have not decided as of this moment whether to file a lawsuit. I'm not even going to name potential defendants in this segment. There's no reason to, but there would be multiple. If I were successful,
you shouldn't be doing this at all. If you actually had any intention of suing Taylor Lorenz or Wired or Hassan or whoever else you're alluding to here, if you had any intention of doing that, then you wouldn't be on here talking about it. That's what drives me nuts about it. Is he's obviously not going to do it. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe. But I don't think he's going to go through with this. And it's just a stupid fucking game. Just like fucking A.
Upside in theory would be, I've cleared my name, at least in some generic sense. And that would be great. But there are some significant downsides to getting involved in that. Number one is the cost. Unless you're in a highly public situation like the Sandy Hook parents suing Alex Jones or some of these other scenarios, you're not going to get a lawyer to...
Guys, I am not high profile enough to get a pro bono lawyer.
...take the case on contingency, meaning you start paying legal fees immediately. And I've been advised this could take 6 figures.
I can't afford that with my 3.3 million subscribers.
...in legal fees just to get to the end without even a guarantee of getting the money back, right? I mean, hopefully you win, but winning can depend even on technicalities like what states are these lawsuits filed in. So that's the first consideration. Secondly, a case like this probably takes 12 to 18 months. And I'll admit, it would be extraordinarily stressful. I am not litigious by nature. I think all of you know that. I've never sued anybody. It would be stressful.
I'm a good guy, and I don't want the stress of the lawsuit, and it'll be expensive, and I don't have that kind of money with 3.3 million subscribers on YouTube.
It would be time consuming. It would, remember, I have a newborn at home, and it also likely would take...
I have a child, guys. Join Pakman.com.
...me away from the show. And so part of it is have a conversation with my audience. Is it best for the show? Is the audience best served by 12 to 18 months of litigation instead of just focusing on the show and focusing on the baby? And then number 3 is the reality of the outcome. Imagine that...
It drives me insane. Why is he pretending like I mean, am I supposed to believe that he doesn't have a lawyer, a legal team that would handle 90% of this? I mean, that's how this would work. You would get a lawyer and they would handle the majority of doing this. You just probably have to show up for shit and you could still focus on your show and your baby. This is what I'm talking about, is he sets up these unrealistic fucking like goalposts that never existed in the first place. Nobody's emailing him about this shit. Like, oh, please sue her. Nobody's doing that.
It takes 15 months and I win, right? Imagine I win. Maybe there's a financial settlement. Maybe not. But even then, the damage, to the extent that there will be damage, is mostly going to be done. Am I really going to go 15 months from now and show the people that did abandon the show right now the victory? And
well, I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments.
Are they then going to come back and you know, most defamation cases don't even go to trial. They end in a settlement. The settlement often includes that no one can talk about the settlement. So it's also like, if at the end of all of that, 6 figures in legal fees and all of this, if there is a settlement, okay, I get some money, but is it even really the public victory that might help from a publicity standpoint?
I don't know, guys. I don't know. Is this the public victory? Maybe somebody should start a GoFundMe for me, for my legal defense fund.
Especially if it's a settlement no one's allowed to talk about. So that's what I'm contending with right now. The damage, the possibilities of a defamation lawsuit, the effect on my audience, the effect on the business. So I want to hear from you. That's really everything I have to say right now. The really good news is that
I want legal advice from the YouTube comment sections. Let me know.
Most of the people that are outraged by this aren't even in my audience, and I have to remember that. And that actually leads to the next thing I want to talk about, which is a sort of broader discussion of what's happening right now on the left.
Oh, my dear God. Listen, that's about all I've got for you on this. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is it's become increasingly obvious that he, as well as the people that he's in this network with, are all basically spouting out the same goddamn talking points. And it's, you know, it's just the way he carries himself with all of this shit actually matters, because like I said, if it really came down to it, I laughed out loud in the middle of my office when he pretended to not know how to pronounce APAC. Everyone is looking at me now. APAC, who is that? Never heard of them. They said to me, sir, because people call me sir. They said, sir, people are saying you're a shill for APAC. And I said to him, IPAC? iPatch? A-Stack? Never heard of him. And so, yeah, I don't even know how to say it. I don't know how to pronounce APAC. See, I knew I wasn't the only one that caught that. That I was like, why are you pretending to not know how to pronounce fucking APAC? But yeah, he's a fucking robot, man. He's a goddamn soulless fucking robot. And I think Alex Jones was right. I think he's evil. Now, Martanimos had sent me a video on my XMR, which, by the way, if you enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit the like button and become a member and hit up the PayPal. Oh, here we go. Who do you think is going to be the Joe Rogan of the left? I'm curious.
Where do you think the contact with the aliens came from? When did that start?
You know, I'm not going to get into it.
I need to hear about aliens.
I know you already know all this, Joe.
Hold on a second.
It's always...
But I want to ask you this because I don't know.
Oh, yeah, right. We're in contact with aliens.
Like what kind of shit?
Here's what's happening, because it's not just one group of aliens.
What's the different groups?
The big five.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Let me begin. This is really, I'm telling you, Joe, this is a real deal.
We're listening to you.
Well, first off, elves is the main group.
Okay.
And they call them the elves. It's clockwork elves.
I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore.
There are bad things that look like elves that have horns when they show you who they really are.
Damn.
They're bad aliens.
I'm with you.
AI is alien.
Like a robot?
Yeah, they're like robots coming to kill you.
Jesus Christ.
The chimeras are alien.
And there's a hive mind sort of thinking to a lot of this.
I'm telling you, that's what David Pakman, he is a goddamn programmed robot just made to like fucking spit out fucking Democratic talking points. It's I don't know why he even fucking pretends like he's a human being.
Want the organs. I swear on my kids I told you the truth about that.
I believe you. I believe you.
They're coming after everybody.
Jeez.
It's a breakaway civilization, dude. We don't know what they've got. Joe, they're control freaks.
Like, that's the thing is, like, the parts where Alex Jones makes sense is when he does kind of go off about the fact that, like, you are being so subvertly controlled, but, like, you're being subvertly controlled from both sides just through rhetoric, and it's not as conspiratorial as you think. It's just human nature to gravitate towards people that you think are more educated on a subject than you are, if that makes any sense.
Well,
everybody's that's why I'm so glad you're in the fight.
Or at least who you think are.
These guys are on stuff that, like, nobody even knows.
What do you think they're on?
Stuff they've been given.
Okay. I understand what you're saying.
You know, there's like armed guys with machine guns.
That is a group of people that were obsessed.
Yeah, see, there's no armed men with machine guns. That's not happening, obviously.
With combat.
About the most fearless killers there are.
Do you think that's from
I mean, there are, but they're in the military, and they're probably overseas in some country we have no business being in.
Heritage of war.
I mean, it's just like, it's mental illness, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I wanted Tasha to come in here because, okay, I'm just gonna show y'all this. Somebody can send her the timestamp, okay? But you know how I like to make songs out of Russ's community posts? Well, I made one out of this post that Tasha did about AJ. And, you know, I'm not doing this necessarily to trash either one of them, but I just found it funny because I made it. It made an R&B song, and it was real good. So I wanted everybody to hear this.
Hello, baby girl, 17, heavy outfit, telling the truth about her, and she did anything what I thought she would do.
I see your pattern, AJ, and I don't buy your shit anymore. You a fake, 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 fake. Mad 'cause people didn't wanna be your friend anymore, so you cry about it for years.
No, you need to get yourself the fuck together, lady. I was willing to hear her out, but I'm not buying the story of hers.
Go get new glasses, go get your infected tooth pulled. Stop chain smoking inside your fucking house and get some therapy.
Your teeth aren't shifting into place at your fucking age. It's infected, needs to be removed. It ain't coming anymore. She has been doing this consistently, and now for longer periods of time, dwelling, and oftentimes reminiscent about the past and what she had with these shitty people. You are literally telling on yourself, AJ, and I'm gonna start clipping it because you lie and you don't remember the shit you say from street to street.
Go get new glasses, go get your infected tooth pulled. Stop chain smoking inside your fucking house and get some therapy. Your teeth aren't shifting into place at your fucking age. It's infected and needs to be removed. It ain't coming anymore.
I definitely have to put a video together for this one. I definitely got to get a video together for that one. That one just turned out to be such a damn bop. Hugs and hello. Bali, I thought you were live. I literally just saw that you were live right now, and I was going to raid your live stream, possibly. But let's see. Does Bali have her redirect on? No, she doesn't, because she does not know how to use YouTube. Bali, you have to turn on your redirect so that I can raid you. She's doing China chicken cooking. We miss S-Jam. Nobody misses S-Jam. Hemney panel. We see Rosie. What the fuck is all this shit? In fact, the only person... Here's the thing, and I don't think I want to, but I might do it just to stir some shit up. But the only I can raid... I've got 3 options, okay? Tomfoolery, which absolutely not. BBW, she changed her name to Barbecue Veronica Chronicles, BBQ Veronica Chronicles, or Steve from Machete Squad. But I can't raid Bali.
Like a creepy lurker. There's some like other drama that's so stupid, but like.
And Bali can't even hear me anyway. I like Veronica. Press 1 for Veronica and 2 for Steve. Because Steve's doing some shanty shit. I'll let you guys decide. Yeah, I had a feeling if I put it up to a phone. I'll raid Steve because Veronica, I don't think Veronica likes me anyway, and so I don't really care. Like, for the most part, I've been trying to avoid this girl world shit. These people are fucking insane. And I don't think I can take much more of it. I don't know why I'm saying that, actually. I'm fine. I don't know. I'm just baffled by how insane everybody's acting. No, not Steve, not Bali Steve. This is Steve from Machete Squad. He's doing shanty. It's shanty content, okay? But anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. Go sub to Steve. This Steve is okay. And check out his channel, and I will see you guys soon. I may do a shanty stream this week. I don't know. I'm actually, for those of you that don't know, before I go, actually, I'm working on a website that, if you've been following me long enough, I've used it in the past. It's not anything new for you, but, I've been working on this website, and I have found that using AI to help me code through some of the problems that I have issues figuring out has helped me out a lot. So as I kind of poo-pooed the AI code because it is kind of cheap to use, but at the same time, like, there's just stuff that, like, I couldn't fucking figure out, and it really does help out a lot. But hopefully I'll be having something come together soon with the help of GitHub Copilot. So anyway, I will keep you guys in the loop on that. And but anyway, thank you guys for coming by. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of the night.